Hello, friends. It's Melody Self, and I am here today live with you. And I wanted to talk about, are you an observer? Are you a participant? And, I was thinking about this for several different reasons. I guess a week and a half ago, my son turned 21 and he wanted to go skydiving. And I have always wanted to be able to participate. And when a couple of years, I had already, about 3 years ago, I'd already gone. It was actually, yeah. And so, but he had asked me to go with him. And it just made me start thinking about this. And I had asked a friend if they would go with me. And they said they would. And then they had some circumstances, but this, and this has to happen. And so it just made me kind of think, it goes back to, are you willing to pay the price? And there was I don't even know how many years ago it was, I had this dream or a vision. And at the time I was very unhealthy and I was not robust in my being. And I was having issues and I had become to the point where I was pretty much almost bedridden. And I guess it was about, wow, it was 15 or so years ago now. But at that time, and if you're here, say hello, let me know you're here. At that time, I I was so discouraged because I couldn't hardly do anything. I was very weak in my body and I was passing out frequently and really you couldn't figure, the doctors couldn't figure out why. And so what I did, well, I had this vision. I had a vision of myself, and in my vision, it was like a future me. And I was on the sidelines, and my kids were playing football, and I was in a wheelchair. And I remember that in this vision of myself, I was drooling out the side of my mouth. And one of the teammates asked my son, "Hey, is that your mom?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." And they just kind of ignored me and kept going on about their business. And I know that at that moment, there was something inside of me that rose up and it's like, oh, heck no, that is not going to be me. And that will not be my future. That will not be who I am. And so I changed that vision to a new vision. And my vision became, I'm going to go hiking with my kids. I'm going to go biking with my kids. I'm going to make fun memories with my kids. I'm going to do everything I can to be robust in my being so that I can stay moving, so that I can feel young in my body, and that I will be very intentional to do the things that is required for me to do. And I don't care. And at that moment, I went to a natural path doctor, and I didn't, the doctor didn't even tell me to do this. I found out what some things I was sensitive to, but I went crazy in my diet. And this is what she didn't tell me, go gluten-free, go dairy-free, go sugar-free. She didn't tell me to do that, but I decided that that was going to be the best thing for me at that moment. And when I did, I, how do I say it? Released a lot of weight, and I became getting so much stronger in my body. And for many years, people would ask me, "Are you working out?" No, I didn't work out. I just ate super healthy, and I was very restrictive in what I ate, but I didn't feel restrictive because when you feel like your choices, I can be like in that vision, like sedentary and not able to do anything, and have my kids needing my kids to take care of me, or I can be robust and I can do all these things. So I'm not eating cookies and cakes like everyone else and ice cream. I didn't, so what? Like I never felt like I was living without. I've always felt like I'm living with health. And if I think of my food as fuel for my being, then that's what it was. It wasn't that I'm not one of those, I'm a foodie. No, I never have been. I was like, I eat for fuel for my body, and I want to eat clean fuel. I want it to be good fuel. I want to be able to have good, my mind to be alert and to be able to think well and to be able to have enjoyable time with my kids. And that was more important to me than eating really rich foods, or however you want to say it. So some people might think, oh, you're living without, but I feel like I'm living with so much more, and so much um, health was is wealth to me. And so in any case, I didn't want to be an observer of life. I wanted to be a participant, and I wanted to be full on and really enjoy the life that I have with my kids. And it's not my, especially the younger kids, it's not their fault that they have a older mom. And so I don't want them to pay the price. I want to pay my price so they don't have to pay a price. And that's the way I looked at it. And so I don't know. I mean, there's just so many ways that we can look at, do we want to be an observer or do we want to be a participant? Do we want to watch people having fun? And, lots of times that's fun for people. That's, many people pay a great price to watch, sporting events and things like that, or concerts and all these things. People are observers and they're having a grand time doing it. But we have to think about, what does it mean for ourselves? What does it mean for me if I'm going to have grandkids and then I'm going to be an older since I was an older mom, I'm going to be an older grandparent. Well, how do I want them to show up for them? And how do I want to so that's the future that I wanted to cast for me and for my family was, I'm going to be robust in my health and I'm going to take care of it. And I wanted to really be a full on participant and have fun and make good memories, and not just be like, oh no, y'all go swimming by yourselves, like even now they're like, we can barely beat mom when she's swimming. At least I can beat them in something, right? Well, at least I can set the bar high in something. I may not be able to bench more than they can, but I can swim fast, and so at least I can do that. And what is it that you want to be a participant of? How do you want to show up for yourself? Because for me, that was loving me, showing up for me and being able to create what I wanted to be able, to create for them. And it's also me being on the offense for my health and not waiting for something bad to happen. Something bad had happened then. And now I'm going to stay in the offense for the future. And so when I stay in the offense, I'm going to be able to do things to prevent myself from getting the bad, results. And that doesn't mean that something can't happen. I'm not saying any of that, but still I'm going to be able to have more, robust health when I do need to fight it. So I didn't mean it to only be about health, but I do think it's about all kinds of things and all kinds of ways. How do we want to show up? How do we want to participate? And what do we want to be? So we get to decide, and I want to help you live your best healthy selves. So if you are wanting to know how you can do that, or you are wanting to show up better for yourself, then send me a private message or comment below on this video and let me know, because I am running a special right now and I am helping women, and it's called Envision Her. So let me know. I am very much in here to help impact your life to be better and to be full on, full out, and all that you want it to be, so you can live the life of your dreams, because you deserve it. And you're going to have so much greater impact in the world. It'll be, you know what I mean? Like when you're satisfied, when you feel satisfied. I love y'all guys, and I will talk to you soon.